Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today I am presenting the Pavlov theory, and the name of this theory is classical conditioning. Classical conditioning is a very famous theory of Pavlov, and the Pavlov was the Russian psychologist, and this theory was very popular theory. And he described that how can a stimulus uh, how can we produce or we can get a stimulus through artificial way. So he did experiment on his own dog, or now we will see that what was he did in his experiment. So he took food for his dog, and it can be meat, or he gave it to his dog. When he was giving to his dog, the saliva comes into his dog mouth. So he uh, this procedure is called unconditional stimulus, and unconditional response, which has been occur by giving him food. Unconditional, why this is unconditional? Because there is no condition, there is no any thing involved between food and dog. So we say that unconditional stimulus occur, or unconditional response has been happened, saliva come into his mouth. Now he that was the first thing which he did in his experiment. Now he used bell. He rang the bell, and there was no any response in a form of saliva when the dog listened. In third part, he rang the bell, plus he offer he offered food to the dog. When he rang the bell, there wasn't any response, but when he showed the food, the saliva came into dog mouth. Now in his fourth, he did this practice, ringing bell and giving food. He did this practice, this exercise many times, and in the end, or after a lot of practice, he habitual the dog become habitual that when this bell rings, the my master facilitate me and offer me food. So now he In a fourth um, step, he just rang the bell, and saliva was automatically came into the dog mouth. There wasn't any food which has been offered, but saliva, because this bell, the dog um, um, mm, engage, or the dog understand that then this bell is connected to food, then automatically saliva came into his mouth without food. So in his experiment, the Pavlov shows that condition stimuli can be produced in an artificial way. So in the end, he says that conditional stimuli can be produced by conditional response. So he differentiate this experiment in a three different steps. The first one is before before conditioning, that is before conditioning. In third step, the third step with conditioning, he was offer bell and food together, first bell and then food during conditioning step, and in the fourth, after conditioning. In this step, he habitualize the dog familiar to this bell with this food, and he understand that that is the condition with food which is occur. So in the end, he remove food and just ring the bell, and saliva came into his mouth. There wasn't any food. And in his experiment, he shows that artificial we can produce stimuli, which is biological stimuli, or we can say internally stimuli can be produced by artificial way. So that's all for today. Thank you so much.